Welcome to end-to-end demo about generating data warehouse from source system and creating publish layer for visualizing the data from data warehouse. Let's start with our demo scenario. In this demo scenario, we have 6 parts, starting with generating initial metadata from source system and ending with deploying data products to production. In the first part, we will generate initial metadata from source system. First, let me ask a question. When starting a data project, how to get the initial schema structures in place so that they will keep the data types of the source system. In ADE, we have entity and mapping import functionality to generate entities and mappings from CSV. For example, we can run SQL query to source system, export CSV, and import that CSV to ADE. In that way, ADE can generate the schemas to target database according to metadata. Let's move on to the demo. We now imported entities and mappings to ADE and committed the changes. As a result, ADE will create tables to target database according to given metadata. Moving on to second part, ingesting data from cloud storage to target database with ADE. First, a question. When data is in the cloud storage, how to continuously load it to data warehouse? With ADE, that is simple. In ADE, it is possible to configure Notify API to receive events from cloud storage. This way, ADE will get the information about new files and can initiate loading command to target database. Let's jump to the demo. In this demo, we have files already in S3. Each of these files will send an event to ADE Notify API. Check documentation for more information about Notify API implementations. Now that the package has been committed, we can move to workflow orchestration and run the generated workflow. This way, ADE will run the staging loads and see if any file events have been received through Notify API. If there are events in the queue, ADE will generate loading command to target database and load the file. Let's wait for a moment for the workflow to complete. Now we can see from the log that there were file events in the queue. ADE created copy command to Snowflake to load the new data file. Let's check the results from Snowflake. From Snowflake, we can see copy commands were generated for the files in S3. And we can query the data from Snowflake to see what is there. And there is our data from S3. File events from S3 were sent to ADE, and as a result, ADE could generate copy command to Snowflake to load the data. Moving on to third part, implementing data models and transformations. First, a question: how to create resilient and agile data warehousing layer. With ADE, there are multiple options from third normal form to data vault and to persistent staging. In the following demo, generic persistent staging area is generated from the source system. In this demo, we generated persistent staging area with entity and mapping import. We executed workflow successfully, and now we should have the data in Snowflake. And there it is, successfully loaded to data warehousing table in Snowflake. Moving on to fourth part, implementing publish layer, meaning facts and dimensions for the data utilization. First, a question: how to implement robust publishing layer for data utilization? With ADE, there are built-in functionality to implement efficient facts and dimensions, or custom if you need that. In the following demo, publish layer, fact and dimension are created, and data visualization on top of that. From the data lineage, we can see the created fact view and its source entities. In this demo, we created fact and dimension views on top of persistent staging and added Tableau visualization on top of it. Moving on to the fifth and the final part, deploying data products to production. First, a question: how to enable continuous deployment of data products? To really enable data ops, you need to have robust deployment process to be able to deploy often to production. In the following demo, we deploy created packages to production environment. In this final demo, we successfully deployed all packages to production. Thank you for the demo.